I'm Velingri from NCA department. I like to share you the Excel, how we can work with the Excel, and what are all the business analytics related to Excel, Excel product. Okay, so I'll start this. Okay. As a MBA students, I think you are aware of what is business analytics and how it is going on in our current world. So here, in our current world, everything has been digitalized. So the data will be 0 1s or something like that. The data will be some data will be possible to understand, and some data will be not possible to understand. Okay. So here, what Excel will be doing is we are getting the data from the business peoples, and we are analyzing the data, and we are giving a good business insights for their growing of their business. Okay, so in this here the data is the core area, because this is a oil of an this is a data is an oil. Okay, so it cannot be it should be a proper data, then it should be a corrected data that we will deal in the future, right? Okay, here we are having some data in an Excel data in an Excel. We are using the Excel techniques, and we can find how it will give the future for the business peoples. Okay, in the business analytics, we had three types of analytics is there. One is called descriptive analytics, and other thing is called predictive analytics, and third is called the prescriptive analytics. What is descriptive analytics? Descriptive analytics, see, if you are going for business peoples, we are asking for the business peoples will come and ask you, please analyze this data, and I'll ask them give the insights about how to improve their business, right? Okay, for that, what we'll do, we'll go through the data first. We'll go through the data, and based on we'll understand the data, and after that we are using some techniques to analyze, and after that we will come to a conclusion, and we'll give some business insights. Okay, so the data will be a last 3 years, or last 5 years, or last 10 years. So we'll get the historical data. That means from today till last 2 3 years, or 4 5 years, or 10 years, that historical data will be collected from the users, collected from the business industry, and we'll analyze the data. Okay, so this kind of existence data, analyzing the existence data, it is called descriptive analytics. And after this analysis, we will find something, the business is going up or going down, so it is going average, that and all, we can understood something, right? So that understanding we can analyze, and we can if the business is going down, that time we will find it out how to we'll predict what are all the situations why the business is going down. Okay, so we have to identify using this data. That means we have to find the data, and we using this data we can identify why it is going down. So this is coming under the prescriptive analytics, sorry, predictive analytics. Then after that, what are all the actions to be taken? So if you are going, the business is going down, we are finding out because of some situations, these scenarios, it is going down. So we have to take some actions. So we have to take some actions so that the business to come up, make it to come up, right? So this is coming under prescriptive analytics. Okay. Okay, so these are all the analytics techniques, types of analytics. So we will see how Excel will support these kind of activities, right? So we'll go through simple functions and other things what we handled over here. Okay, we'll see, and we will we'll have a discussions, and we'll come back. Okay, okay, we'll see what are all the basic Excel functions. I think here you can see the data of college students, or other business peoples, or customers of retails, or something like this, employees of a company, like that. We can have the data. What is the data? This is first name, last name, and full name, then PAN number, mobile number, that and all we have, that data of birth, data of joining, like that, the data has been handled, right? So in this data, we can, using this, for an example, if a company people having this data, then we can see the data and we can identify the data given is correct or not, right? So sometimes maybe of some issues, while the people are entering in the data in the papers, while doing some human errors, they will be writing for a PAN number 10-digit character that can be they written as 9-digit character. For a telephone mobile number, we can write it as 10-digit number. They will write it as 11 or 9, something like that. So there is a chances of errors. So while analyzing the data should be correct data. Okay. So for that, first we have to understand the data, what the data is there over here. Then we have to identify any errors data or any required data is not present. So that and all we can analyze. So for that, we need some Excel functions to analyze this. Okay. How can we analyze? See, for an example, here I had the PAN number. We can check with the PAN number, right? Okay, PAN number, I think everyone knows it is of 10-digit character, right? So 10-digit character, 10 character length is the actual length of the PAN number, right? So in that, we have to find, we'll check how to find the length of the string. That means length of the PAN number. I'll check it over here. Okay, equal to length of. There is a function we are using it called len. Okay, Excel, we are having the function called len. Then you can use this cell. So you can find it out what is the length. So this is actually a 10 characters length. So fine, the data we can, while watching itself, it is 10 characters length data, it is available. So we can the data has been, we say that the data is correct. Okay. Similarly, if you are checking with the mobile number, okay, the PAN number itself, here we can see the data. If you are checking this length of this data will be just check will length. So if it is a 9 character length. So it's while watching itself, we can see this data is not in the correct format. That means not a valid data, right? So this kind of data should be corrected, and corrected means it has to get the actual data, and we have to update the data and keep the data to be clear, right? The data should be of in a correct format. Okay, similarly for the mobile number. Okay, mobile number, if it is 10-digit mobile number, it's required without STD code, ISD code. So if anything less or it is greater than, we have to check that now the data is a valid data or invalid data, right? So using this way, we have to identify the validity of the data. Okay, so while analyzing the things, analyzing the data, we need to identify, we need to check the data is a proper data, valid data, accuracy of the data. We have to check all the things, right? Okay, fine. Now we will see what is we'll see simple functions, what we have, what we used for this. First we'll see the things first, simple commands over here, right? Okay, we will check what is left. See, I want to find out the first 3 characters of the PAN number for an example. Okay, I want to find first 3-digit character of a PAN number. I can use, it is the command called left of my PAN number. I will give a PAN number, comma 3. So what it will do? It will find it out, ABC. What it will do? It will find it out. It will take the string. It is of Anu Sundar. This is the, if you are seeing this, D9. Cell D9 is, it is of PAN number of, it is all not sample data. It's not actual data. It is of simulated data. Okay, here we are using the D9. That means it is of there is one person number. See, this is, I am taking the first 3 characters from the left. Okay, so left side, A is the first character, B is the second character, and C is the third character. So my outcome will give you ABC. Okay, so this is how we get the data from the left hand side. Similarly, if you want to get the data from the right hand side, my scenario, in some scenarios, I want to get it from the right side, I can use right of PAN number, comma 3. So this is, it is taking the last 3 digits. Okay, this is from U is the last character first, and 5 and 4. The last 3 characters it will give you. That is called 45U. Okay, so this is way we have used that mid left right function. Okay, so similarly, if you are using a mid function, one more function is called mid function, which what it will do means it will identify a string within in between anywhere. Okay, so anywhere means how we'll try it out. Mid of that string, comma, I need sixth character to 3 characters. From the 6th character I need 3 characters. Okay, so 6th character is, what is this? 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. 6th character is 2, 7, 8. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, right? So in this way we can handle, that means we can get the data in between. Okay, so basically how we are getting the some coded data, how we will get the data using these functions. These are all basic string functions. So we are using this, we can easily identify what are all the things, string functions over here. Okay, fine. We will have in our Aadhaar card and all, we have the first name and last name. First name is our name, and last name is father name or surname, like that. So we in our Aadhaar card we had a full name, right? So if we have first name and last name, how to find out the full name? So here I'm finding out how to find the full name equal to concordinate. There is a command called concordinate. These are all very simple commands. Concordinate of, so first name, comma. If I want to make it the 2 strings to be a small space is needed, so I can give the second string is a small space and my third string is this. So in that way I can get this 2 strings has been added into 1 string. Okay, so in this way I can get the full name. So this is one more command, and I like to see one more command is called trim. What is the usage of trim? While typing, sometimes the data entry operator may occasionally press spacebar. So sometimes they press spacebar and they'll give you ABC some numbers like so maybe of A, B, C, D, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay, sorry, K. Okay, so this is for an example. If PAN number is typed like this. Okay, so if I want to check this number, I'll see this. This is actually length. What will be the length of this character? Okay, so this is equal to length of. I can find it out. What is the length actually? So it's saying 11 characters. I don't know why, because that here that blank space also counted as a character. Okay, so how to modify this? How to correct this data? So simple. See, I want to make it as equal to trim of. I'm trimming the data. Blank space, I can trim that using the trim function. I can trim the data. So now it is trimming the data. If you want to find out the length, you can see the length of that character. Okay, so we'll get 10 characters. So using simple commands, we can manipulate the data, process the data. Okay, this is way how we can process the data. Okay, fine. Now I'll give you some interesting examples. See, I want to tell you what for it is used. For what is the usage of these commands? Left, right, mid. What is the usage? Simple. I think everyone having your PAN card, right? I think everyone has your PAN card. Okay, what is any digits you can identify over in the PAN card? That means any specific characters mentioned for this, mentioned for that, or like that. Can you able to identify that? For that, I just have a poll over here. So I'll try to give a poll now. So can you able to find out, so that we will go for a discussion, next discussion. Okay, so I'll give you a poll. Okay, so I'm launching a poll. Please try to have a answer for this, so that we will go for. Okay, just a minute. Okay, fine. Okay, I had a launch a poll. Please, can you able to answer for this poll, please? what is your fourth character of your, what is the fourth character in your PAN card number indicates? Any idea about this? I had given a 4 option, that is first character of a state, or first character of your name, or first character of your last name or surname, or none of these. Not three, not three and all. No, both. In the null option, you just mentioned this. None of this. Around. Okay, it's going on. Progress is going on. It is of 32%, 40, 48, 52, 56. Yeah, 60%. Going on. 60. Okay, any more responses? It is of 64%. Okay, 64%. Any more? Okay, okay. I'll show you what is your score of these things. I'll tell you before that. Okay. I'll show you the results. It is 64% of your polling has been done. So I'll end the poll now, and I'll share the results. So I think your response is, the answer of this question is none of these things. Just I want to share what it is exactly that fourth character is for. Okay. So I'll stop the results and I'll continue. What is the fourth character? I'll continue our discussion. Okay. Stop the share results. Now I'll come to conclusion. Just I'll come back. Okay. Now I want to explain what is the fourth character it is mentioning over here. Okay, here I think you can have what is the fourth character it is used for is very simple. That means I think everyone knows or not, I'll tell you the thing. See here, if your PAN card number fourth character, how I can get the fourth character of my PAN card? See, I'm using the mid function, mid of that string, comma, fourth character, comma, I need the one character. So it is coming under P, that is P. Of course, students, you can able to check your PAN card for your for your interesting purpose. I think your PAN students PAN card number, your fourth character is always BP. You can verify that your individual PAN card numbers. You can verify your fourth character of your PAN card is it is P. Okay. So this is for your information. So the fourth character of the PAN will be classified like this. This is one P means it is for an individual person, or T, if it is the PAN card is coming, the fourth character is T means it is of trust, and the C means it's a company, and like this it will go. That is LLP, limited liability partners, and F is firm, and G is for government, and HUF for individual and family, like this, and then local authority, and for J is for artificial judicial person, like this. Okay, so this is for your information. This is taken from the Wikipedia. So you can go and check the Wikipedia for more information. You can get it. So how our Excel functions is useful to identify the fourth character, and how can we interpret this like we can interpret, right? Okay, so as a managers, you are managers, you can see the PAN card details, if it is correct or not, or if it is a company PAN card number, or it is an individual PAN card number, or it is a trust PAN card number, and all you can verify like this. Okay, next we will go for another voting polling. We'll see. Okay, I'll launch a poll. Okay, you can answer for this. What is the fifth character of fifth character in your PAN card number indicates? I think anyone knows means. Please answer. Raise your poll the answer for this. What is in your PAN card number? Fifth character indicates. That means indicates your first character of a state, first character of your name, first character or last name or surname. Like how it is. What is your answer? Please check it out. 33% of voting has been done. Yeah. Let's see, it is 40%. Okay, it is of 55%. Yeah, it is of 59%. Okay, please proceed the voting, please, so that we'll go for the continuation. This discussion continuation. We'll see. Okay, 62%. Guys, please vote for this, and you can know what is the results and all. It will be interesting. 66%. Okay. 67, 70%. Fine, 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 fine. Okay. I think 21% in the 70% of things. It is. I'll make it end polling, right? Right now, I'll going to make it as end polling now. Okay. I'll share you the results. See, this actual. I think this actual answer is the first character of your last name or surname. That means that your father name or like a PAN number means company means that is a company's surname like that. So if your father name's first character will be present in the fifth character of your PAN number, you can verify that. You can verify that your fifth character of your PAN number will be your father's name first character. Okay, if you an individual PAN number, everyone has your PAN number, you can verify that. Okay, so this is all we can. I'll stop the share results. Okay, fine. I think 21% of people given correct answer. Okay, fine. I'll go for the continuation of the discussion. So in this way, we can interestingly we can how to find the data of the thing. Okay, similarly, what is the last character? That means 10th character. If you want to know what is the 10th character of the data will be represented. I think I don't want to give too much polling. It's a 10th character of your 10th character of your PAN number mentioning the validity of the thing. That is validity of your PAN. Okay, so validity of your PAN that you can that scheming and all we doesn't have that much clarity. So just it is mentioning how it has been taken. Okay, fine. So for this purpose, okay, this is under this Wikipedia. So this is the detail we have been sharing for you. This is the content we got it from the Wikipedia. Okay, so you can go and see this Wikipedia link. The fifth character and the last 10th character is alpha digit used as a checksum to verify the validity of the current code. Okay, current code validity. What is this? That can be checked in the last character. Okay, fine. So this is the data. This is the data. How it will very much useful for the informations that has been handled in. So how, on the PAN card number, how much data will be incorporated in this? Okay, this is the way it has been incorporated. Now we will go for the next thing is similar thing. It is called postal index code. Okay. So how much these are all the applications what the length, mid and right, left, what that and all we are used over here. So these are all the examples I like to show you. That means we didn't think it of usually, but now you just think in your mind how the data has been designed. Okay, fine. So in the pin code, I think I'll have a poll now. I think I'll check your understanding how it has to, how you're understanding about the poll. I'm sorry. I'll go for the next poll. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm launching a poll. This is what is the in the postal index code. First 2 digits indicates what it indicates. Please try out your answers because we know we know what 6-digit character is our pin code. So we know what is the full actual clarification. That means classification of the digits, each digit, how it has been classified. You know that or not? You can verify now. So in this postal code index code, first 2 digits indicates. Yeah, it is almost 14%, 18%, 29%, 37%, 40. Yeah, your answers will be expected. So 44%, 48, then 48%. This most polling on that state or region. Yeah, expecting some more results. Expecting your voting, please. Okay, yeah, I can stop the voting now. 51, 55, 59. Okay, 59% voting has been there. So I think most of the people are mentioning it is a correct answer. It is used for the state or region. I'll show the info now. I'll show the results. So it is most of the this is a state or region. It is of 56% of the people has given a very correct answers, right? Okay, I'll go with our discussion. Okay, fine. Okay, for your pin code description, this is the data. It has been used here. See, this is the pin code description. List 11 is for Delhi, and 12 and 13 for Haryana, and 13, 14, and 15 for Punjab. Like this, it has been classified. So first two digit is 11. You can understood that pin code is referred to a Delhi. Then 12 or 13 will be Haryana, like this. You can see Tamil Nadu and Kerala will be like Tamil Nadu 60 to 66. Pin code starts with 60, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66. It belongs to Tamil Nadu. Okay, then Kerala will be 67, 68, 69 will be the Kerala pin code first two characters. Okay, so this way it is how the pin code has been designed. Okay, so this is for your informations. Again, I'll go for one more polling. I'll tell you how the next is called PF. Our PF, if you are going for our industry or company, they will provide a PF. So in this PF, how the PF numbers are handling. Okay, this question is, I'll give up start polling. In this PF number mentioned here, the first two characters how it is indicates. Can you poll for this? These first two characters. I think most of the things are coming correct, I feel. Okay, fine. It is 11%. 23, 26, 30, 34. 34%, 38. Most of the things, most of the people are giving correct answer. These are 42. Yeah, 42%, 46. 46. Yeah, 50. I think most of the almost 79, 80% of the people is given correct answers. I think 53. Then any more pollings? Okay, around 53% of the people are given voting. So I'll stop this polling now. So, and I'll show you the results. 55% of the results, 55% of polling has happened. Then this correct answer is your, whatever you mentioned, it is a state. It is the state of the PF holders belongs. Okay, so I'll go with the details for this. Share the result. I think share the results. You can see this is almost 73% of the people have given a correct answer. State of the PF holders belongs. Okay. So I'll stop the sharing. I'll go for our video details. Okay. So this is actually PF number is like this. The PF number will be MH, BAN, some number of 6 characters length, 7 characters length, and 3 characters length, and again that 4 character length. It is first MH belongs to represent the Maharashtra, and BAN represents for the regional office Bandra. Then next 7 characters, 7 numbers, it is belongs to representation of establishment ID. Establishment ID means your company ID, like, okay, establishment ID. And 3 characters is establishment ID. This is also establishment ID. and last 7 characters is your employee ID. So this is the informations we will gather from the PF number. So if your PF number is this much characters, you can identify the each character which belongs to, that means what information has been stored for. Okay, so this way we can identify the data. Okay, now we will go for now we will go and see what are all the other functions which will available in our Excel. Okay, fine. We can see the data will be in our company. If you are going and see the data means you can get the data of birth and data joining and all, you'll be handling in our offices, right? So what is the purpose of this means we know what is if you want to know our age, we will give data, we will consider the date of birth and we'll calculate the data age of the employee. And if want to know the service of the employee, we'll consider the date of joining, right? Date of joining. From the date of joining, you can know what is the years of service the candidates having. Okay, now I'll tell you how the date of birth can be handled, can be calculated. Now the date of birth date will be entered. That means first is a month, second is the date, and third is the year. If you are entering and you are checking the date format, if you are going for the date format, setting it as a date format, you can get this data. So from this, if you want to calculate what is the age, I'll calculate the age over here now. Okay, you'll see it is equal to, we'll have one function is there, it is called now. It's now means it will give you the current date. Now this is 30th July of 2020 of time 10:44. Okay, from this we can identify what is the current date, right? So current date minus your date of birth. Okay, so your date of birth, then will you get date of it is in a date format, it will give you. Then using the conditional formatting, you can go for the format that cells, and you can get it as number, and I don't want digits. You can get the number of days. So from the big date of birth till today, you are living this number of days. And if you want this dates to be of number of years, I can divide by 365. So I can get it is in number of years. So he is a 31 years old. Okay. So I am taking this candidate, then their data January 2nd January of 1990. His age is now, it is of 31 completed years. This is exactly if you want to know means you can go with how many digits and decimals is there. This is 30 years of 6.6, 30.6 years actually. So we want completed years. So I removed that decimals. I don't want the decimals. I'll take it as 31 years. Okay. Similarly, I want to know what is their experience. That means how many years they are working in that company. Okay. So for that, how should I do that? This is experience I want to calculate. So experience I'll equal to now minus then date of joining. So I'll give the date of joining. So it will give you also date. Then you can format this, then format this cell, and you can make it as number. And I don't want the decimals. You'll get number of days. Number of days is working in that company. So if you want to get the years, number of years, you can give like this. It is approximately, it is of 3 years. So if you want exactly, you can give 3.15 years. If you want completed years means you can take the integer part. So it will be 3 years or something like that. So this way I can handle the data and I can identify my data informations. Okay. So if I get my data, if I given the data of birth, the company should understand what is their what is the candidate years, age, and with the date of joining, we can identify what is the experience of that employee in the company. Okay, as a managers, your MBA people, you should know what is how the data has been calculated like this, right? Okay, fine. Next, I want to know, for example of next example, I'll handle the next example like had the date of birth of, for an example, in our college students, we had some of their names and date of birth. These are all sample data, nothing, it is actuals. So here I feeded the data like Ram and their date of birth. Okay. So here I want to identify the age. So age, whatever last discussion I had did as the age. So I'll repeat that. This is equal to now minus this actual date of birth. So I can get this as a date. So I can make it as number. And I don't want digits. And I divided that by 365. So we'll find it out how many years. So I want to test this candidate is having the capability to vote. That means having that age eligibility. Okay. So how should I do? How should I check? It is very simple command is there. It is equal to that function it has. It's over using it. Okay. I'll show you equal to if condition of I'll passing this 21 age comma is it greater than or equal to 18. Sorry, greater than 18. It is 18 completion. So greater than 18 if that is eligible to vote. Okay, fine. Eligible to vote. If it is not true, he is not eligible to vote. Okay, so 21 is eligible to vote now. Okay, so similarly, you can using these functions, simple functions, we can identify a specific criteria. That means I want to check a specific conditions or expressions. I can check here. The if condition is working like if my expression is true, I can first thing will be if the expression is true, it will taken from the first value. If the expression is false, it will take the second value. Okay, so here I am checking C4. C4 is a ROM age. ROM age is 21. 21 is greater than 18. So 21 is greater than 18. It is true. So that it will take eligible to vote. So this way, I can able to identify these peoples are eligible. The eligibility of the peoples is there. Eligibility is there or not. We can identify this. Okay, this way it is going. Okay, fine. We'll go for the next thing. Okay, now we'll simple string and date functions are there. Now we'll go for some statistical function what are all available in Excels. It is simple functions. It's very simple functions what we can handle it. I think consider this example. Here I had 5 employees in my company. Okay, for an example, I had 5 employees in my company. First, I want to identify people who are getting what is the sum of salary I was given to the employee in a month. Okay, so in that scenario, I will calculate the sum of sum of the salary. It is a function. It is called equal to sum of my range. That is 60. I am selecting this. I'll show you how equal to sum of. I'll select the region. So what should be sum? Okay, close the bracket and give. So it will automatically give what is the summation of that salaries. Okay, so I'm giving a small sample of data. If it is a huge sample of data, we have to give a, it will give you a good answers. That means manually you cannot do something like this. So the system will give you the results within a second, fraction of seconds. Okay, so using this sum function, we can identify what is the summation, sum of salaries, right? Okay, in a different scenario, I want to identify who is getting very low salary, least salary in my company. Okay, for that, I'll check equal to minimum of, I can give the function called minimum. So minimum of, I can give the range, I can give close brackets and give. So it will identify what is the minimum of salary. That means what is the least salary in my range. That means in this range, these 5 people, who is getting the minimum salary. It will identify 4,000. This guy has been getting minimum salary. This is 4,000. Similarly, if I want to get, I want to check what is the maximum salary. Who is getting the highest salary? Okay, so equal to max of the function is using max. So max of that's range. I'll give the complete range of salaries and give you it is max. So I can understood that 22,000 is the maximum salary I was given to my employees. So that candidate is like this. Okay, here. So similarly, you can give the average salary. Average salary means will how there are 5 people are there. 5 people I am giving the salary as 54,000. If I want what is the average salary to the given to each employee means I'll use this function called average. Okay, equal to average of this scale. Okay, so I'll get what is the average salary. Sorry. Average salary is 10,800. Okay, fine. So similarly, one more scenario can happen. That means how many number of employees in my company? Okay, I'm showing a small quantity number of records, right? So in that, if in a real data, you can have a number of records. That means in a company, 4,000 or 5,000 people are working in a company. Like, okay, so that time we cannot able to count, or while viewing the data, we cannot identify how many records are there. So in that scenarios, we have to have a function to calculate how many functions, how many employees are there. For that, I can use like equal to count of. I can use the function count of, and I'll give the range, how many employees are there. I give the range so that it will identify how many employees are there. So here we have the 5 employees are there in my company. Okay, so similarly, if you are having 5,000 or 4,000 or whatever it is, that will given the range, it will automatically calculate the data. Okay, these are all simple sum functions. I'll go for some better functions. We are using it. It is called SUMIF function. Similar scenarios. For an example, here I'm using SUMIF functions. That means here in this example, I had a specific requirement. As a manager, you can know that. That means I want to identify some specific scenarios. So in that scenario, what is SUMIFs and SUMIF, average if, count if? That means sum with some if conditions. Okay, so that can be done over here. It is a simple commands. Here my scenario is I want to find out the here I'm given the annual salary of an employee. I had 8 employees in the concern. In that 4 employees are male and 4 employees are female. Okay, then their salaries are varies starting from 2.4 lakhs to around 7.2 lakhs. Okay, so I want to calculate some values. So some calculations, right? So first scenario I want to check it is sum of the salary greater than 5 lakhs. Who are all getting the 5 lakh salary, annual salary? I want to sum that salary. So first I want to identify who is getting the first salary is greater than 5 lakhs. This is, you can see this formula. This formula is SUMIF of C4 to C11. C4 to C11 is the salary range. So salary range, you can block it, comma, then you can give the expression. If you are giving, come to the function, it will show you. You just click on the fx function, you will give a function argument, it will show you. It is showing you C4 to C11. C4 to C11, your annual salary range, and your criteria is greater than or equal to 5 lakhs. Because I asked the salary, that means salary who is getting greater than 5 lakhs. Here greater than or equal to I given. Okay, sorry. Then some range is also say C4 to C11. C4 to C11, it is the overall, this expression is complete, that is full satisfied candidates that has been calculated. So if it is given okay, that will give you 33 lakhs. Okay, 33 lakhs, how it comes? This is 6 lakhs and 7.2 lakhs and 6.6 lakhs and 6 lakhs and 7.2 lakhs. These are all calculated, and you can get here, you can get the 3.3 lakhs, sorry, 33 lakhs, your outcome has been coming. Okay, so similarly, you can use the SUMIF function like this. If in the scenario of some ifs, that means multiple if conditions, I had here, you can simple command. I had like sum of salary is less than 5 lakhs and gender is female. My expression is overall getting the salary less than 5 lakhs and that candidate, that employee should be a female employee. Okay. In that command, I'll work like how it has been worked means I'll go with formula that if sum of range is the annual salary or employee salary, I'll given a range, and the criteria range is also first criteria I had given this C4 to C9 for checking the salary, because I had given that salary is less than 5,000. So I had given the range as C4 to C9. C4 to C9 is my salary range. So I'm checking the salary criteria 1 as salary. Then I'm checking the salary is less than 5 lakhs. Again, I'm coming to the second condition. Second condition, what I given criteria range to is D4 to D8. D4 to D8 is my male or female, gender. Okay. So gender range, I was blocking that in that gender, I am identifying the gender, employee gender should be a female. So I have given that criteria equal to female. Okay. If you're using this condition, you can identify what is the outcome. That means the sum of salary. That means I'm checking for female employees who is getting less than 5 lakh salary. So their sum is totally 5 lakhs 40,000. So this is of these two employees. Okay. So this way we can use the simple sum functions, and you can identify a lot of informations from Excel. Okay. Similarly, average functions. So average function also, it will be working like this. So I want to identify the salary of average salary, annual salary is greater than 5 lakhs. Same like if you are giving this, you can give the condition is like average of salary, that is range of C4, that is annual salary given range, and the salary is greater than 5 lakhs. And again, a range of salary should be C4 to C11. Okay, C4 to C11 I have to give. So that I have to give, and I'm given a function called average if, so that it will average. It will be added and divided by the number of employees. Okay, so it will taken as 6.6 lakhs. Okay, fine. So this way I have identified that average if for all employees of less than, it is getting greater than 5 lakh salary. Okay, next scenario, it is simple. That is average salary of employee who is getting less than or equal to 5 lakhs, and that should be a female. So similar laws, it is equal, it is same like what is using sum if command. This is average if command is working. Okay, I'll show you what is the command it will be. Sorry. So this is the average if functions. So we can see the range average C4 to C11 is your salary range, and your criteria range, first criteria C4 to C11, it is checking of your salary. Salary is less than or equal to 5 lakhs. And the second criteria is D4 to D11. D4 to D11 is a gender. So check with the D4 to D11, and your criteria is female. So using this, you can apply the function of average. So it will average the data and it will give you. So less than 5 lakhs candidates, this is 2 candidates are there. So if you are adding 2 employees salary, this is 3 and 2.4. So 5.4, 5 lakhs 40,000. It is divided by 2 means 2.7. That is 2 lakhs 70,000 you will get. So this is a simple example for average if. So similarly, you can use the count if. Count if is very simple. So number of male employees. Number of male employee means it is calculating from the gender. So your function will be like this. So D4 to D11, I am blocking that cell D4 to D11 range. Yeah, Arvind, you are raising your hand. Can you ask your question? Arvind, your question, please. Arvind, can you? Okay. I could not able your voice. You can raise your mic. You can on your mic and raise your question, Arvind. Okay, we'll proceed. We'll end of the session. I'll ask for the question.
Excuse me, sir. Some of them, they have written their mobile name instead of their name.
Okay.
So ask them to rename to their name, sir. So in their name,
okay,
they have named as Galaxy J7 Prime and the kind of things.
Okay.
So just ask them to put their name, or otherwise they put their name in the chat box.
Okay. Students, please, Galaxy J7 Prime and all there, please name your name here. Please, okay. So please make it your name should be visible as your name. Okay. I'll. Okay, I'll continue the session. Okay, fine. So similarly, counting functions, what will do means it will count the data. That means count the number of employees or count the number of it is depends on the nature. That means what is your requirement. Based on that, we are using the functions, right? Here, I want to count the number of peoples. That is, count the number of employees in your company, so that I will check how many people are working with having this conditions. Okay, first my question is, how many number of male employees in my company? Okay, so for this, what is the function I have used? It is of range of D4 to D4 to D11. That is this is my range. Okay, so this is my range, and I can use my criteria is the criteria is male. So I using the male, then you will get that number of employees, number of male peoples are 4. Okay, so this way, next my condition is I want to check how many people are female employees is in my company, and their salary should be less than or equal to 5 lakhs. Annual salary should be less than or equal to 5 lakhs. Okay, fine. So how to calculate this? So I'm calculating the function. I'll see the function. I'll D4 to D4 to D11. That means I'm counting the number of head counts. So I'm using the gender count. Okay. So gender, that's why I'm passing gender as D4 to D11, and I'm given the first criteria as female. So criteria 1 range is D4 to D11 because of it is counting the gender. So I'm giving D4 to D11 and my gender is female. Okay. So after that, my second condition is that the second condition is C4 to C11, because C4 to C11 I'm handling with the salary. So salary is C4 to C11, and I'll check that salary should be less than or equal to 5 lakhs. So using this, I can identify the number of people belongs to this is 2, because other 2 females is getting more than 5 lakh salary. So my criteria will satisfy these 2 candidates, 2 employees. Okay, this way I can identify these things. So similarly, we'll go with match and index other things. This is like a matrix type of data. See, we can identify that people. That means I want to find what is the Charan and their subject mark. That subject marks is match. So Charan, where is Charan? Charan is over here, and the match mark is 89. So 89, you can identify this using the match and index concepts. Because of time limit, I cannot able to give you complete details over here because of time constriction. Okay, this is using the match functions and index functions. We can identify this value. So I can here it is a small area because it's a small data. We can be able to view. If it is a data, it is a huge data. We cannot use we cannot manually see this data easily. So we are using this function and we can identify the results. Okay, so this is the usage of match and index function. I'll go for the VLOOKUP, basic commands of VLOOKUP function. So VLOOKUP is used for identifying the results or something like that. We can use this VLOOKUP. Basically, VLOOKUP is called virtual lookup. Vertical lookup. So vertical lookup is for I'll have like the data. Here I think you can see this 0 to 40. It is range of marks will be fail, and 40 and above is pass. This first scenario, I'll explain this. Till 0 to 40, the candidates is considered to be fail, and 40 and above is considered to be pass. So here I'll use this VLOOKUP result for this. So I'll show you how the VLOOKUP is working. So VLOOKUP, it is of I'm passing this parameter B6. B6 is my mark. So B6 is language zone, Arun Kumar language zone. I'm passing the 34 marks I'm passing. I want to identify the mark is pass or fail. Okay. So here I am passing this, this is called passing value. That means this is the 34 marks. I want to identify the result is pass or fail. Okay. For this, I want to the table array. Table array means H4 to I5. H4 to I5 is my virtual table. That is vertical table. See here, H4. H4 is this range. Okay, this range is H4 to I5. Okay, so this range you have to pass this. Sorry, I'll check with this now. I'll pass this, and again, I want to know what is the column index I want in this table. I want to, I want the second column. It will check the first column and the result will be taken from the second column. So, okay. So in that way, I'll getting it. So I'm pausing the second column. So second column will get, I want the second column data. So second column will be your results. Okay. So using that, I can identify the result is pass or fail. For an example, 34 is fail. I'll give 45. It can automatically say it's pass. So similarly, you can 23, it is fail. So it is automatically calculate the data. Okay, this is on VLOOKUP. Okay, so VLOOKUP will active like this. VLOOKUP, similarly, we can have the concept called HLOOKUP, that is horizontal lookup. So similar functionalities. Okay. Okay, now similar scenario is, second scenario is there. Second scenario is I'm having a multiple scenario criteria like 0 to 40 pass, 40 to 60 it is of so 40 to 60 of first class, 60 to 90 sorry, 0 to 40 is fail, 40 to 60 is pass, 60 to 60 and above sorry, 60 to 90 is the first class, 90 and above is the distinction. Okay, so this kind of information I want to get it using my VLOOKUP. Okay, here that is the same thing, it has been calculated like. Okay, fine. So how it has been calculated? The similarity of the function is used. So VLOOKUP is, I'm passing that value as 45 over here, B15, it is my passing value. And I can go for the range of data it has been given is age 13 to S16. Age 13 here. 13
online class.
Mute your audio, please.
இப்போ வச்சிட்டாங்க, என்ன பண்றது? Join meeting.
Okay, fine. Table array, it is having that your range of data. That means your result array of data. That means H13 to S16. H13 to I16 is like 0 to 0 fail, 40 pass, 60 first class, 90 distinction. So this 4 range will be coming over in this table array. Then I need the second. Second means I'll give you the results, pass, fail, first class, distinction and all. So using this function, I can get the data. So if I'm 45 means pass, I'll check this 24, 23, it is fail. I'll give you 67, it is called first class, and I given 98, it is of distinction. So any data, if you are passing that, automatically it will calculate and show the results. Okay, so this is of functionality of VLOOKUP. Okay, so simple functions. Now we can go for the visualization of data. Now we can process the data, and now we can go for the visualization. We can visualize the data using our conditional formatting command. We can visualize the data. I'll tell you some simple formatting commands. So here I want to check marks above 40. Okay, above 40, this much of candidates above 40. And given that above 50, I want to check overall candidates above 50 and overall candidate above 60. So overall candidates above 70, I can view this. So above 70 means these are all subjects we are having 70, 77, 80, 89, 78 like this. We can identify. So this is using a rule. We can have the conditional formatting command is there. So in this, you can go for, you can have the rule. So manage rules, we are having that concept is rules concept. So in these rules, we can use conditions. We can design this condition and we can able to view the data, our convenient data. Okay. So this is the formatting tools we are having. So using this, we can identify anything. That means based on your requirement, you can identify the data. Next is formatting. Again, this is a formatting of identify a record, that is individual marks that has been identified in the last screen. Here you can identify a specific record. For an example, here I'm having 10 records. If you are having 5,000 records, if you want to identify where the record is, then I can use this command to identify the records. For an example, if I want to identify it is of 8, I can see that automatically it will come to the range. Okay, so if it is of 7, if it is a 5, it will go range. Okay, so it will show you a complete record. For an example, your register number, name, marks, and everything it will show you. So it's of searching and visualizing your data. Okay, okay, we'll go for the next one of the formatting. This is another formatting technique. It is for showing the top 3 candidates. So, okay, so top 3 candidates or top 5 candidates or toppest values. Okay, toppest values you can view from this using the conditional formatting data. Okay, this is all. There's overall. It is over here of this worksheet. It is formatted over here. It's a simple concepts. You can easily do this. Okay, so I'll go for this another formatting. This is of students. We want to identify the peoples. Overall, it is very poor. Here, your data is like you are having this data. I'm identifying the total. I'm having the rule like. I'll show you what is the rule I'm using it over. Okay, this is the rule I'm using it. You're clicking over that. I'm having a 0 to less than 40. It is of red indicating. And 40 to 60, I'm using the orange triangle, and above 60, I am giving a green round. Okay, so this is the way I have created a rule. So using this, we can identify the people who are all less than failure candidates. I can identify the data, and I can alarm that student to take care of their studies, right? Okay, so normal data, it won't give you that much clarity. Okay, the numbers and all, it cannot identify this. You cannot able to identify simply, but if you are visualizing like this, you can easily identify. This is similarly, you can use this background and all. You can remove. If you don't want your background, you can remove this background. If you want your background, you can add your background. Okay, something you can do this. Okay, I think you can able to identify this data over here, right? So this is of roll number 2 and roll number 4 and all. The paper, science paper, they are not getting perform well. So we can identify and we can inform the students to perform well, right? Okay, now we'll go for the next simple thing for charting. We are data processing, we'll see that. Now we'll go for a charting. Here I am presenting a data of a class. So here you can see yes, chart preparations. So I had a data and I can able to give a, if you want to present the data in a chart, I can do this. Simply I can give like this. If I want to arrange in ascending or descending order, we can easily arrange ascending and descending order. For an example, if you want to make it as ascending or descending order, maybe I want to see the topest guy in a good mark as a first, and arranging descending order, I'll do this. I want to sorting the data, and I'll log the data is first. See, you can see the data 216. This is roll number 4. It is getting highest marks, and the second is 212, third 4 like. So you are making ascending, and this is of descending order. You make it as ascending, means it is going from the low value to high value. Okay. Similarly, you can perform the chart. It is chart preparation and all. It's a 2-minute work. You can able to do that. It is not that much high. If you want, I can do this in the next session. Okay. So next session we will handle, we'll prepare a chart and dashboards and all we can see in detail. Okay. So similarly, we can have another type of chart is there. It is called a pie chart. See, it's a pie chart. It is another type of presentation over here. See, I'm having my company. It is of totally. I want to have the total number of employees. I want to know. This is total of employees. So this is equal to the sum of whatever we learned here. We'll identify this. So total of employees working over here is 33 employees are there in my company. Then I want to know how many contributions from each department. I had marketing department, sales department, purchase department, and admin department, and production department, right? So in this, each department, there is a number of employees are working. So I want to know what is the contribution of their peoples in the ratio. Okay. So I'm creating a pie chart, and you can see visually, we can see that the production department is a big department. It is having 46% of contribution over there, and the marketing department having 5 people of 15% contributions, and the sales department of 6 candidates of 18% contributions, and the purchase department of 4 candidates of 12% contribution, and admin peoples of 3 people are there of 9% contributions. So using this, I think you can visually, you can think of how many people are working in each department, and how percentage of people's are contribution, how many percentage. This is a physical human resource percentage of things. If you're if you want to see the people that means the revenue point of view, how many percentage of revenue from each department, like we can able to identify. So visualization part, we can able to give a this kind of information. So if you are going with this, I will have a lot of things are there. Okay, I think we'll wind up this session with this content. We'll have that detailed sessions in our next sessions are there. This is of pivot table, and then after that dashboards and all is there in our next session. So we will deal these things in detail in our next sessions.